The trailer for season 2 of David and Annie After the 90 Days just dropped, and guys, it looks like Annie might be pregnant. Or at least that's what TLC wants us to think, and guys, you will never believe what else the trailer revealed. So season 2 of their own spinoff is almost here, and it looks like David and Annie might be looking at some major changes to their life together. So from the teaser trailer that TLC just dropped, it looks like they might be expecting their first child, and the teaser hints at this pretty heavily. We see Annie and David going to the doctor, and Annie gets asked when the last time she got her period was, and her answer is actually really shocking. So we hear Annie say that the last time she had her period was more than 3 months ago, and honestly, I'm pretty shocked that it took her this long to go see someone about this. I mean, you'd think that she'd at least get a pregnancy test after the first missed period, or maybe after the second one, and maybe she did and nothing happened, so she just left it. But 3 months still feels like a lot not to get checked out, and we obviously don't know if she's actually pregnant or not, but the trailer does seem to heavily hint at this. And then again, this might just be TLC trying to get us hooked, because the truth is that this could literally be anything else. I mean, maybe Annie is just having some issues, because we do see in the trailer that they also went traveling at one point, so maybe that could have something to do with it. And then again, the trailer also shows, David and Annie discussing parenthood, and David said that he didn't think he would ever even think about being a father again. And then we also see a clip of Annie during her exam, and her doctor points to the screen and tells her where the womb is. And then there's another clip of Annie being clearly shocked, and she even asks what she is doing. So this would all seem like they might be expecting a baby, and if that's the case, then I feel like that's going to be really interesting. And there's obviously a pretty big age gap between David and Annie is the younger one, and she doesn't have any kids, and David, on the other hand, actually has 3 kids, Ashley, Brittany, and Jacob, from a previous relationship. So still, I mean, it seemed like until now they were kind of on the same page. Last season, Annie admitted that she did once want to have kids with her husband, but she wasn't so sure anymore, and from what David said, he clearly didn't even consider the option. So it seems like if Annie is pregnant, this definitely was not planned, because they both seem like they weren't really ready to have a kid at this point, if ever. And if Annie actually is pregnant, it'll be interesting to see how they might navigate this situation. But then again, like I said, I'm not entirely convinced that she actually is pregnant, because it could just be a false alarm, or it could be that Annie has some health issues, and David obviously says the thing about not being sure about becoming a father again, but this clip might have been taken completely out of context, and for all we know, he said that before they even went to the doctor to discuss what's been happening with Annie. But either way, I feel like TLC has done a pretty good job of making us talk about this, because now I am really looking forward to this new season, and since I really want to know if Annie actually is pregnant or not. And the trailer has showed, some other pretty interesting things. Like last season, David and Annie found out that Annie's brother Jordan and her cousin Amber didn't get their student visas, and this was obviously crushing news, but these two aren't giving up, and it looks like this season they'll be going back to Thailand to work on this exact same problem, and they're taking Jordan and Amber to a bigger city in Thailand to get them more used to the American culture and to sign them up for an English language school to improve their English skills. And this might give them a better chance at getting their visa, and it might also make them more excited about the potential move to the US. And in the teaser, we see them having fun at what looks like a theme park, and they seemingly even went out to get some American food, but not everything went smoothly, because it seems like there might be one small problem with this plan of them moving to the US, and that's Annie's brother Jordan revealed that he was kind of reluctant about moving to America, and the reason for this was honestly kind of adorable. So Jordan admitted that he was really missing his girlfriend on this trip with Annie and David, and we saw them FaceTiming each other, and Jordan then said that his girlfriend was the reason why he wasn't sure that he wanted to move to the US, and we even got to see a brief clip of him confronting Annie about this. And although this scene was actually pretty strange, Annie told Jordan that she wanted him to move to America with her, but she also said that she wouldn't force him. And to which Jordan said that this was forcing him, and I'm not sure if he was referring to what Annie said or if he was maybe, talking about the whole trip, but his response just seemed kind of weird to me. And I mean, I understand why he might be hesitant about moving to another country, and it's not just about his girlfriend. I mean, there's the language barrier, the culture shock, upending his whole life, and this obviously isn't an easy decision. And while he's still super young, he's not really a small child anymore, so I understand that he might need some more time to think about this and decide what would be best for him, and I hope he and Annie could figure it out though. And there was actually another family moment that we got to see in the trailer, and this one was pretty hilarious. So Annie and David didn't actually travel to Thailand alone this time around. Ashley came with them, and she was in for a shock. So life in Thailand is obviously different from life in the US, and she was horrified when she saw a whole raw chicken right after it had been stripped. And I mean, I get that not everyone is used to seeing things like that, but her reaction was honestly just kind of funny for me, and I'm really looking forward to this new season. So between the pregnancy and all the family drama, I feel like it's going to be pretty good, and I'm also hoping that Jordan and Amber will be able to get their student visas and come to the US. And reportedly, David and Annie recently moved into their new home near Hidden Hills, and it seems like the house is pretty big. So allegedly, there are 4 bedrooms and 2.5 baths. And there's also a 2-door garage and a community pool and 20-foot ceilings. So if both Jordan and Amber move into the house, and if Annie actually is pregnant, I think that everyone will feel really happy that they bought a 4-bedroom house. And anything smaller would probably get too crowded for this family. But although we still obviously don't know if Jordan will even want to make the move, I mean, it's possible that he might decide to stay in Thailand, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see what happens with that. And, the same also goes for the pregnancy. I'm still not sure what to think about that reveal, but hopefully, we'll find out what's what sooner rather than later. But anyway, what do you guys think? I mean, are you excited for season 2 of David and Annie's spinoff? And do you think Annie might actually be pregnant? Guys, let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below.